Welcome back to the Nerdcore Podcast, a podcast that reviews movies and talks that nerd shit. This is episode 421. And as always, it is the sick, ill, nerdy Chicano here to host the show alongside my wonderful co-host, Ingeta.
What's up, everybody? That's right. Neri Chicano is ill. The illest. The illest for realist.
Yep. Live to you on a Friday because we couldn't go live yesterday. Was out on a birthday dinner with my mom, so where I was like, "Hey, that's important, bro. Go and do that." I already had watched the film, so we were like, "Good, it's fine. We can do this tomorrow."
Yeah.
So
exactly.
we're here to finally open up our month of Sofia Coppola and looking at the films of Sofia Coppola, and we'll have more to talk about why this month will probably move into the next month. So yeah. Brad, what have you been up to? I know you put some meat on the smoker right now.
I put some meat on the smoker right now. And yeah, fucking smokers are just fancy. Look, I got a little app. Tells me the temperature it's at, has a timer, and has a probe. My grill's got 4 probes. I can put 4 different pieces of meat. It's bougie as shit, man. Like, I don't know what to do with this life. I'm going into this kind of blind. I'm like, okay, I know a temperature, I know a time frame. Who the fuck knows how it's going to turn out this first time? Yeah. I'm like I told my wife, like you might need to like bring home pizza by the end of this. I don't fucking know.
That's funny, dude. I just like I look at that shit. I'm like, the fuck is going on here, man? Like, Brad, the thing is, like, you all need to understand, like, Brad's like fucking cheap as shit, right? Red's super cheap, but like somehow he's all good for what's it called, for this sort of high living with a smoker.
I have a charcoal grill. I've had this charcoal. I got the charcoal grill as a wedding gift, so I've had this charcoal grill for almost 6 years, and I've just used that. So if you think about it, what I spent on this grill, like I haven't spent on this other grill for like 6 years. I haven't spent shit on this grill other than buying charcoal for it.
Yeah.
So, and yeah, my charcoal grill, either I replace it or I need to get like some ceramic inserts into it. I need to do something for it because it's pretty bad off right now.
Yeah.
But I might just use my smoker anyway because it can do searing at like 600 degrees. It can cook pizzas at 600 degrees. But right now I'm smoking chuck roast at like 210 with the coffee chili rub. So hopefully it turns out good.
Dude, that's fucking nuts. You got the smoker, you got the new truck, you got a lot of things going on out there.
Yeah, come visit me, treat you right.
Hopefully March. Excuse me. But yeah. Hope everyone's having a great day. Nothing too special out here with me. Woke up, still sick. Ate leftovers from Cheddar's. I took my meds. Knocked the fuck out. Woke up. Brad messaged me. I said, hey, I gotta go take a shower. I had a shower. Now I'm here with you all.
Which was totally fine because I was like, well, because when you didn't answer in like that 10 minutes or 15 minutes, I just started the grill because I had to give 15 minutes for it to get to temperature.
Yeah.
And so when you messaged me, I was like, well, that's pretty good timing because I just got to put the meat on and then I'll be good. I'll be good.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. No need to worry about me. I was fine. I was just knocked out because of this cough I got. I don't know what else is going on here, but I'm probably gonna have to go to the doctor one of these days.
That's never good.
But let's just go ahead and get ready, dude. Let's go ahead and do this. This is my second rewatch of the film. Long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, as they say, right? When Movie Club ran for like a good month, we did look at a couple of Sofia Coppola films, and this was one of the ones that I watched, and I watched it for the first time, and I really liked it. So I can't wait to discuss what I thought about it on the second time. So, Brad, let's get ready for this. If you guys have not watched The Virgin Suicides, it did come out in 1999. Fun fact, Brad, how old were you in 1999?
13.
I was 2.
I was 13, yes.
Yeah. If that doesn't say anything, I don't know what will. with that said, if you have not watched the film, then it's probably best that you click off and you don't hear spoilers. If you don't care, you can go ahead and keep listening. Either way, how this goes, this is just water warning, and it is in effect in a five, four, three, two, one. All right, Brad. Introduce him to Sofia Coppola's The Virgin Suicides.
Okay, coming from our main source, Wikipedia. The Virgin Suicides is a 1993 debut novel by the American author Jeffrey Eugenides. The fictional story, which is set in Grosse Pointe, Michigan during the 1970s, centers on the lives of five doomed sisters, the Lisbon Girls. The novel is written in first person plural from the perspective of an anonymous group of teenage boys who struggle to find an explanation for the Lisbon's deaths. The novel's first chapter appeared in the Paris Review in 1990 and won the 1991 Aga Khan Prize for Fiction. The novel was adapted into a 1999 movie by director Sofia
Are
Coppola
you
and
are you reading the
starring
novel page?
Kirsten Dunst. Oh shit, I am. All right, that was
Bruh.
the novel. That was the fucking novel. My bad. All right, moving on to the film. Well, that added you 2 minutes, roll. I'm just saying.
Oh my god.
Now, moving on to the film that was adapted from the novel that I just read about.
Oh,
Saving it. I'm saving it, bro.
oh my god. I was like, wait, I'm following along on the Wikipedia page. I'm like, bro, did you do the right one? Oh man, go.
All right, still on Wikipedia. The Virgin Suicides is a 1999 American drama film. There we go. Written and directed by Sofia Coppola in her feature directorial debut. Co-produced by Francis Ford Coppola and starring James Woods, Kathleen Turner, Kirsten Dunst, AJ Cook, and Josh Hartnett. The film also features Scott Glenn, Michael Peri, and Danny DeVito in minor roles with voice narration by Giovanni Ribisi. The Virgin Suicides is based on the 1993 best-selling debut novel of the same name by the American author Jeffrey Eugenides. The film follows the lives of five adolescent sisters in an upper-middle-class suburb of Detroit during the late 1970s. After the youngest sister, Cecilia, makes an initial attempt at suicide, all of the girls are put under close scrutiny by their parents, eventually being confined to their home, which leads to their increasingly depressive and isolated behavior. As in the novel, the film is told in first-person plural, from the perspective of a group of adolescent boys in the neighborhood who were fascinated by the girls. Shot in 1998 in Toronto, the film was director Sofia Coppola's debut feature. It features an original score by the French electronic band Air. The film premiered at the 1999 Cannes Film Festival and received a limited theatrical release on April 21st, 2000 in the United States, later expanding to a wide release in May 2000. The film was met with largely positive critical reception, with both the performances and Coppola's direction receiving note. It was also praised for its lyrical representation of adolescent angst, visual style, and soundtrack. It is now recognized as a cult classic. In 2015, the film ranked number 39 in Entertainment Weekly's list of the 50 best high school movies. The film marked the beginning of a working relationship between Coppola and star Kirsten Dunst, whom Coppola would cast as lead in several films in the following years.
Yep.
And budget 6.1 million, box office 10.4 million.
That. Yeah. Wow. That. Well, that's not a success, but
Not
I mean,
a total failure.
not a total fail. But
Break even,
this
probably.
this film is really well known as being probably one of the best book adaptations in film, and it's a film that pretty much launched Sophia's career. And
Probably Kirsten Dunst's.
yeah, too. So these are films that later on they what's it called? They what's it called? Make their effect. What's it called with careers instead of being at the box office.
Which we saw a lot with The Outsiders, too.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this had Kirsten Dunst and Josh Hartnett, who became big stars after
Hayden
this.
Christensen too. Hayden Christensen, yeah. And just what's it called? It's it's the first time feature of a filmmaker. Especially being the daughter of Francis Ford Coppola too.
That helps. That helps them
Yeah.
a lot of things.
All right, Brad. What were your thoughts on Virgin Suicides?
I gotta go with I genuinely like the story. I followed closely with it. I like the cast. I thought the cast, being so young, did pretty well in what they were given. It did have pacing issues for me though. There were parts of it where I was just like, you probably didn't need to go this in depth into whatever you're trying here. But as a directorial debut, that's kind of expected. Like you kind of getting your feet wet and just figuring out your style.
Yeah.
But overall, pretty good, pretty decent.
Brad, would you believe me? What's it called? Would you agree with me in saying that this was one of those movies where, like, so fucking awkward? I don't want to watch this movie again with the kids and how they interact with these girls.
Yeah, and it's one of those things like Kirsten Dunst is 14 in this.
Yeah.
She's supposed to be a 14-year-old in this. I don't know actually how old she
I think
was.
she was like 17 or 18.
Yeah, during the filming of this. So that's really awkward when you have like you have like a 13-year-old, a 14-year-old, a 16 and 17-year-old technically, and you're watching them like have sexual behavior, which that's normal growing up, but it's not something that I regularly want to watch, you know.
Yeah, it's just, it's like, I'm mostly going at the kids, like, what's it called? You know, what's it called? Interacting with each other and, like, what's it called? That, especially that party scene. She was 17 when this was,
That party scene was super
when this
awkward.
came out. So if this was filmed in '96, she was 16 at the time.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm thinking about, like, just them at the party. Like, dude, did you notice that kid who literally went to go flirt with the mom?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, like,
Yeah,
bruh.
like straight up. Like, these were some thirsty teenagers. I'm
Yeah,
just saying. Like, and that poor math teacher,
yeah, poor
that
man.
poor man, just like he didn't know how to deal with just a house full of women. Let's just put that out there. The
Yeah,
man was busy in his hobbies and stuff. He
yeah,
was so happy to like have boys over. They just kind of let them in, and you know,
yeah. I think this film is really good. I think this is probably one of the best directorial debuts. I think I do agree with Brad. There's a pacing issue here. I think that Sophia learns to, like, at least work with that in the next couple of films or kind of improve it. It's just the film is just, I think the cast and story is wonderful. I love the way that she sticks to the whole first person. What the fuck happened there, bro? Oh, there we go.
my camera just
I
went.
love how she sticks to the first person plural aspect of the book, kind of in a way of saying, like, this is what's it called, the story of these girls through suburban, what's it called, teenage boys, is what's it called, view of them and what happened. And that's why it feels like it's so, what's it called, odd when you're listening to this story, and it's like, what is true, because this is just what these boys knew, and, like, they didn't know these girls, like, perfectly well, like what was happening inside that house. It's not, it's like, it's a really, what's it called, interesting film when I watch it over and over again. um but that second act does lose me a bit when it gets, like, really, really draggy. But I think once you get into, like, the third, it just, like, fucking ramps up, and I'm like,
There just
yeah,
speeds up.
yeah, and I really
And,
like what's going on there.
and I just gotta say, Trip Fontaine is a total douchebag.
Oh yeah.
Who the fuck
Oh, I know who.
leaves their prom date on the field? Like, I just kind of left her. Like, why? Like, you could have like
You
drove
know
her ass
exactly
home that
why.
night
You know
because he got what he
exactly why.
wanted and just fucking bolted,
Yeah.
dickhead.
Um. What's it called? I just, like, yeah, I know, like, there's Trip Fontaines out in the world, especially when they're doing their teenagers who are like, oh, they think that they're really interested. No, dude, you just wanted to fuck her, and once you got the chance to fuck her, you're like, okay, I'm out.
Yeah, that's Although Josh Hartnett played that character like perfectly played that character. He's the cool kid at school, and although I did like when he goes to try to ask Lux out in that first one when she's sitting with all her sisters eating her lunch, she basically just ignores his ass, and he
Oh
doesn't
yeah.
know what to do, so he just like does this and walks the fuck off. I thought that was pretty fun. I'm like, that's how you should treat him. Like,
Yeah. Also, I love how, like, I've never lived in suburbia before. I'm pretty sure you've never, Brad. Um, what's it called? I love how
not at a
pretty.
young age. I lived in suburbia during college.
Yeah, well, yeah, no, at a young age, like, I love how pretty, like, accurate this was to what I think that suburbia looks like. It's like, look, everybody gossiping, everybody talking bad about, like, no,
Yeah.
you would think that these people would be, what's it called empathetic about the fact that this little girl just tried to kill herself, and then no, they're out there just like gossiping and talking about like what possibly was wrong and like blaming the mom and you know in a way a lot of this movie is just a really big discussion on like how
I mean, it did go kind of. It did. I'll bring up the scene though when after Cecilia's killed herself on the fence post, which I'm glad they didn't go into like a really gruesome death on that, like
nah
just straight through her. That would have been. I'm just glad they didn't do that for me. Um, but when that was good to see their community come together and kind of take that fence out. Um,
yeah
so it has its good and its bads, um, that community. But definitely, yeah, the gossiping but a lot of it's just they don't know about this family because this family's really behind closed doors because mom's kind of like a drill sergeant, like
yeah
one little fuck up and at least from the perspective we're getting, the mom was very harsh,
yeah
which could have totally been different. Like I kind of understand where the mom would be very protective over was it $5? Yeah, $5.
yeah
And because the dad didn't really seem to know what to do. He wasn't like as a father figure. I don't, he was kind of just there.
yeah
So I really think the mom kind of took on both roles of that, and unfortunately that was just tended to be too harsh on the daughters apparently, and that's what caused this whole thing to go. Although that those final few scenes of the boys like finding the girls in after their suicides, that was a very well filmed scene. I mean, it was hard to watch,
yeah
and yeah, I'll just go with that. Like this film is very well done, but it's very difficult to watch.
yeah especially like they're going like like what's it called after um, the other sister kills herself, and what's it called? They basically like let her. They're really strict on her, on the girls, and then they go to the homecoming dance and all that happens. Like she becomes really like promiscuous and starts like having sex on roofs with like multiple men, and then that whole scene where like everybody like all these it's like it really shows you like this disconnect between these girls who like and like most of this film is like pretty much a like discussion on like the overt expectations of women growing up. Like how they're
Well,
supposed to like what's it called be out and about like these crazy like what's it called the sexual objects to these teenage boys, and you even hear for the kid he would like to even be felt up by like this what one of these girls would be enough. I mean it's like dude
calm
you
down.
you're like calm down bro like are
Like,
you did you not know what this family's been going through like the fact that homegirl's just like sitting out in the living room smoking a cigarette like that. I'm like, I think I'd rather lead with the question of like, are
are
you
you okay?
okay? What the
Okay
fuck
over
is
there?
going on? You
Yeah.
know, but then again, teenage boys have two things on their mind, dude. Have one thing on their mind:
Yeah,
sex.
and it's south.
Yep. They think
Um,
with the other head, not this one, the other head.
which also this also kind of goes into growing up in a very religious household, and how that can affect
Oh yeah.
people. Because the mom at one point goes like, no more rock and roll records, and
Oh yeah.
pretty sure she poisoned them all by throwing those on the fire, which was funny because she's like, let's just throw these out now.
Like I don't. I was watching. I was like the second time around. I was like the first time I was like not paying attention to it. Second time I was like, you're not doing anything to the record. You're warping it, but you're not doing anything to the record, and you're gonna poison yourself by trying to burn this.
Yeah,
The fuck are you doing?
it wasn't fully thought out. The mom's punishment. Let's just go with that.
Yeah,
Like it would have been better just to break the records
you're
and
just
toss
fucking
them
throwing
out.
them out.
Yeah. So the mom and dad in this are kind of that. It's a really old school way of raising their children that you saw in the 70s, even the 80s, and it doesn't work necessarily. You know?
Yeah, I was like, wow, like that really like felt odd. But it's also shot beautifully. I mean, like like I haven't watched the Criterion restoration of this one. but like what's it called? I like just sticking to that very, very, very like it felt very accurate to like that old school 90s like what's it called film stock, really trying to like feel like it was like we're really like filming right there. It felt like we were really building that
I
atmosphere
I,
in that
I
aura of the household.
I really do feel like Francis Ford Coppola was kind of in the back there,
Oh
helping.
yeah,
I
yeah,
don't think he was taking over or anything, but
yeah,
I also think he was giving advice during this because a lot of these shots
yeah.
kind of look like Francis Ford Coppola shots.
Yeah, especially the coloring. Like I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure that Francis Ford Coppola was in her ear a bit, and but I think that like in the next couple of films we'll see, like she really develops her style. But like really, what's here that's her style. I think it's the thematic stuff and like
Hmm.
looking at little girls and men and what's it called in adolescence within women, and I think that's what you really start to see her style flourishing. But I can see where you're coming from. I think that like she. I mean in a way, I think I bet I feel like I could bet that Francis Ford Coppola was in her ear,
I
and
mean, I'm not saying he directed or anything. I'm saying he was like, maybe you want to frame it like this.
yeah,
Let's
hmm
face it, the man's very good at fucking framing a shot. Like, I would go
hmm
to Francis Ford Coppola and be like, "That look good? All right, cool."
hmm yeah. But yeah, I really like this film, and I think that it's a pretty damn good what's it called directorial debut from a first time filmmaker. I love the score as well. The score is really good, and yeah, I give this movie an 8 out of 10. Brad, what do you give it?
I will give this movie a 7 out of 10.
Nice, nice.
Very well
um,
done. Very very good story. Very hard watch though. So it's another one of those old boys for me. I'm not going to watch it for a couple years until I forget about it.
yeah, yeah. Um, apparently, um, Edward Lackman. What did Edward Lackman do before? Um, oh wow, that's crazy, dude. Edward Lackman was the cinematographer on this movie. Who what's it called? Who had been a director of photography for films from like Wim Wenders, Steven Soderbergh, Todd Haynes.
Oh
You
well.
know, and then Coppola's brother, Sofia Coppola's brother, Roman Coppola, was the second unit director of the film. Um, I'm not here to say that what's it called? Nepotism is great because it's not. But some good things have come out of nepotism. I'll tell you that.
But that's the thing though is if your father is Francis Ford Coppola, yeah, you're going to use him. You're
Yeah,
going to ask for advice. You're going to have him around set because it's fucking Francis Ford Coppola. Come
I
on now.
would too. I would too. I would too. Yeah. But like, that and more on the next conversation about nepotism in the industry. So
And again, for people who don't know, Nicolas Cage is his nephew, so explains how he got into acting.
so yeah. Thank you guys for listening to our review of Divergent Suicides. Um, I'll go ahead and let you guys know I'm gonna be out from Monday to Thursday, and then I'll be here for the weekend. And then the following week, I'm gonna be in production, so I'm not gonna be on. I don't know. Brad's gonna be on. I know that Brad, when it comes to these reviews for the theme months, he's like, yeah, I'd rather do them with you. It's called so he's not gonna do this. Um, right now, I don't even know if I can tell you that I'm gonna have a live show tonight because we got like a busy day today here at the family. But I will let you know what's going to go down. We're really sorry. Things are about to get really weird with scheduling. Things are about to get really weird. But I graduate this month, and I also, what's it called? I have to finish a movie this month. So I will let you know what's going to go down. And with that said, I just stay patient with us, right, Brett?
Yeah, that's all you can do.
Yeah. All right. Want to thank everybody for coming on. For everybody who's watching, I have one person on here that says they're watching. So, thank you all so much to that one person who's watching. Thank you to everybody who's listening on the replay, and thank you to our Patreon supporters because the Patreon supporters are the ones who make it happen. And guys, my voice is just giving out, and I don't really want to keep talking. So I'm just gonna thank all the patrons in one go. Thank you all, writers, producers, executive producers. Um, and our wonderful people who make the show happen. You guys are a big possibility about why this network continues to grow. So thank you so much, guys. I'm probably gonna have to go to the doctor. So, Brad, send him out.
Raro, thank you for being host as always. Thank you to all our listeners
Thank you for
out
reading
there.
the novel Wikipedia page.
I mean, movies based on the novel. It works. Thank you to all of those listeners, all our Patreon supporters. We appreciate each and every one of you. And yeah, if you'd like to support us at patreon.com/the nerdcore, we would love it. And also, there's a lot of good tiers on there, so check it out. And I guess to end this, I'll just say, watch out who you date. And it's 2021. Don't cheat. Young Yoda out.